Oh boy, one of these players will move on, the other. Their DreamHack run is done. It is over. And we'll find out which one it's going to be. Is it going to be this player here in the bottom left-hand corner of Jagannatha LE, our Malaysian Protoss representing Team MeomaikA? It is Ranger. Or is it going to be spawning in the top right-hand corner of Jagannatha LE? We have the Vietnamese Zerg player. He is red, representing his new team, Litecoin. It is MeomaikA. Litecoin Gaming, to be precise. Oh boy, oh boy. And maybe people in the chat can let us know what transpired in the series between MeomaikA and Probe. Unfortunately, we weren't able to watch that, or I wasn't able to watch that. We were a little bit busy casting our own series on the B stream, our own PvP, so yeah, I'm a little bit in the dark as to how that series progressed. I have seen MeomaikA in ZVP recently, but again, it also depends on what his opponent does, you know. Are they going to go Sky Toss? Are they going to go Glaive Adepts? He does have very unique and specific responses. But yeah, in the end, MeomaikA did fall to Probe. Currently, if you want to follow Starduck's run, and I wouldn't blame you if you do, Starduck versus Probe is currently underway on the mainstream, being covered by Maynard, Pig, and Pilsky. I'm not too sure which duo exactly, but it is going to be a mixture of those three. So yeah, meanwhile, we have ourselves a ZVP, and not just any ZVP, a Southeast Asian ZVP. Arguably the best Zerg and the best Protoss in said region. And it's a bit of a shame, honestly, that one of them, we have to say goodbye to one of them. Like, it's heartbreaking. Oh, so heartbreaking. MeomaikA did open up with a pull first, by the way. With said pull first, he's going across the map with his lings, but I mean, it's not overly aggressive. It is only 4 lings. With these lings, he is going to get past this wall, is going to get into the main base and scout his opponent. Oh, never mind. Yo, a full wall off. Okay. Interesting choice there. We have to make sure the cancel's on point. Oh my god, okay. Oh, Ranger is able to just barely cancel in time. Unfortunately, the lings still get through. The Adept wasn't quite fast enough, and the lings will scout the main. Does confirm the pylon positioning, and they are still alive to just wreak havoc, get whatever probe damage they can get done. Honestly, we shouldn't see too many probes fall. Oh, nice micro. So far, Ranger has lost nothing, only a little bit of mining time. And after that, we have a follow-up Overlord Scout. MeomaikA, he pokes in, and he does see the Stargate opening. Big surprise, right? I mean, honestly, this has become very standard here, these Stargate openings in PvZ, but we'll see what Ranger goes from here. This doesn't necessarily mean we are going to see a commitment into Skytoss. Meanwhile, yo, let's hold up on talking about this Protoss, because let's talk about this Zerg player, as MeomaikA is going for a very fast lair before third base. You could say fast lair, you can also say late third. MeomaikA doing MeomaikA things. He's also getting his second gas as well, so we have to wonder, what is this lair going to be for? So MeomaikA has been known for his Hydra pushes. He does go for them quite often in multiple matchups. As these adepts actually shade into the main base. Oh my god, drones are going down. 3 drones do fall. Ay. More importantly, the adepts get into the main, and Ranger sees the timing on that lair. Oh boy. Nicely done there by Ranger. But again, touching on this lair a little bit, the extra gas is a little bit suspect. We don't see a Roach Warren, so we're not going to see a commitment into Roaches. I still hinge my bets on a Hydra Den, just because it's MeomaikA, but we'll see what he does decide to go for here. As there it is, it's a Hydra Den. It's what MeomaikA does. He quite often goes for Ling Hydra timing attacks against his opponent. Typically, this does relatively well against double Stargate openings. Unfortunately, MeomaikA hasn't really scouted what the follow-up is. The Lings do not get into the main base, so he isn't 100% sure if there's another Stargate behind this, or if it's Twilight Council. Meanwhile, the Adepts do get across the map. They're going to deal some damage here. Oof. A couple of lings are going to get picked off. Nothing major, but more importantly, the shade comes in, and oh my god, Ranger, he just sees everything. There's just something about Ranger. Like, he saw the timing on the lair, he sees the Hydra Den, why the hell not? So he should be preparing at home for this. Like, this isn't going to catch him off guard. MeomaikA having a hard time keeping his secrets hidden. Meanwhile, at the same time, 2 Adept Shade into the natural base and more drones go down. Only 2, but again, they add up over time. We already have 5 drones lost here from MeomaikA. At the same time, the Oracle dives in. Ooh, picks off another drone. Does back off at the end. And we'll see what Ranger does here. So Ranger opts to throw down 2 more Stargates. So he sees the Hydras. He's like, I see your Hydras. I raise you Void Rays. Bold move, mate. Bold move. More importantly, I would have kind of preferred like maybe charge with +1 zealots. Like zealots do so well against these Hydras, but you could argue maybe they take too long because the Hydra push is already here. It's already across the map. Oh my god, the stasis. We don't want to see it wasted, and ooh, it does get baited out by a single Ling. There we go, another stasis being thrown down. As a reminder, this is just pure Ling Hydra. These stasis wards can come into play. They can definitely affect things, especially if they get a juicy stasis on these Lings. Meanwhile, the Lings of MeomaikA do get into the 3rd base. The Hydras are here as well. Oh my god, the pylon is going to be focused down, but thankfully there's a 2nd pylon to help keep the shield battery up and running. Ay. And with that, Ranger, Ranger does push this away. At the same time, 2 Oracles go across the map. There's still no Spore. There's no Spore. There's no Queen. Drones are falling left and right here at the 3rd. Ay. At the same time, the Ling Hydra does push on forward. Stasis Ward was baited out by only 4 Lings. Not the best stasis trap there for Ranger. Meanwhile, Ranger has to be so careful with how he controls his Void Rays. He has to make sure he keeps them in range of the shield batteries, otherwise he may lose one. Nice focused fire there by MeomaikA. Does focus down one of the shield batteries. And now he commits to the fight, but again, he is within shield battery range. Ranger does not lose a single Void Ray. Oh my god, but maybe that's way too soon. Void Ray gets picked off, but only 1. Oh god, again, Ranger, you don't want to be taking this fight. Almost loses the 2nd one. Oh god, does just barely pull back into range of those shield batteries. Ay. And so far, Ranger's doing a really good job holding. Sure, he lost a couple of Void Rays here and there, but again, it wasn't enough to snowball. And MeomaikA, he comes back for more. Again, MeomaikA has lost so many drones, he has to deal some damage here. He's essentially all in with this, and now, I mean, the Void Rays are kind of stuck in an awkward position. Shield battery gets taken out. No more shield batteries here at the natural. This is where MeomaikA wants to fight. No shield batteries, no overcharge. This 3rd base is getting even more fortified. I don't know if this is necessarily where MeomaikA wants to push in. I guess he will deny some of these shield batteries, forces the overcharge. Oh, and then he does rotate around. The Queens are showing up because why not? Again, just emphasizing how all-in MeomaikA is with this push. And the Void Rays are fighting outside of range. Oh my god, one of them gets focused down. And so do the Oracles. Ranger, his units are starting to fall, and MeomaikA's breaking through. Now he realizes, I do need shield batteries at my natural, okay? They're on the way. I don't know how I feel about MeomaikA splitting his attention between the bases. I do wish that he focused kind of on one area. There we go, he does now. Focuses his attention here at the natural, denies the shield batteries, starter steps forward on top of the Void Rays, another Void Ray falls, a 2nd Void Ray falls. And now things are starting to snowball here for MeomaikA. He does pull back to the Queens, respecting the Void Rays. Oh, shield batteries being focused down, and it will go down. To be fair, it's not like there were Stalkers or Adepts that were being morphed in, so it's not the biggest of deals. We do have Zealots on the way. Charge isn't done, though, not by a long shot. And the Void Rays, they just keep on falling. Oh god, and I feel like MeomaikA's done it. He's broken through. There are only 4 Void Rays left, and there are so many Hydras remaining. The boys were forced off the line. They're being pulled. 29 probes go down, and it took a while. Not gonna lie, it was a very long all-in, but MeomaikA, he did do it. He broke through the natural, and he takes game number 1. GG. Ranger, he was doing so well for so long. He was holding that line, but couldn't keep it up all the way. Like his 3rd base, there was so many shield batteries and cannons at the 3rd. He was so heavily fortified, but he neglected his natural, and that is where MeomaikA, he realized that, hey, this is where you are weakest, and this is where I'm going to push in. And with that, game number 1 does go the way of MeomaikA, and we are getting ready for game number 2. Just quickly checking, and it is going to be on 2000 atmospheres. As we get the lobby up and running. Oh, but what a game. Again, Ranger was so close. Like, he had the scouting information he needed there. He saw it coming a mile away. He was getting ready. He had the stack defense, just not necessarily at the right places. And with that, he now takes the lead in this series. As I quickly showed on the screen, boom, there we go. Players are ready. I just have to quickly check something here. Thank you. Just working on this logos mod. Boom. Diving into game number 2. The countdown has started. MeomaikA just needs one more to advance on to the decider match, which will be played tomorrow, not today. Meanwhile, Ranger has to win this game, otherwise he is knocked out of DreamHack Fall. And that would be such a shame. Like, Ranger had such an amazing run last season, making it all the way to the top 4, just exceeding all expectations. And we'll see if he can do so again, because here we are spawning in the top right hand corner of 2000 atmospheres. LE, we have the Malaysian Protoss player. He is blue, representing MeomaikA. It is Ranger. Spawning in the bottom left hand corner of 2000 atmospheres, LE, we have the player who is currently up 1-0 in this best of 3, the Vietnamese Zerg, representing Litecoin Gaming. It is MeomaikA. Shout out to Gogo Joey in the chat. He will be playing later on today in the Taiwan Hong Kong qualifiers group stage. My apologies. Yeah, saying that Ranger accidentally move commanded a little bit too much there. Yeah, he was slipping up a little bit when it came to his Void Ray control in his defense. Meanwhile, MeomaikA, once again, going for that pool first. We saw it in game number 1. We see it again here in game number 2. It's just hashtag MeomaikA things. He does feel a little bit safe and secure going for this opener. It isn't to be overly aggressive. We saw last game it was just for 4 lings. With this pool first though, you can get your queens up and running a little bit faster for those injects. I would say for that creep spread, but we all know that MeomaikA isn't really one to spread creep using queens. He's all about that Overlord creep highway. Something very unique to MeomaikA. As I update the admins on what the score is in this series. And Ranger does go for the probe scout. He does spot the pool first, so he is well aware, even confirms that lings are coming across the map. So he should be working on this wall to deny said lings. This time there isn't just like a massive gaping hole in the wall like on Jagannatha, so the lings of MeomaikA shouldn't really make it through. And that's why this game MeomaikA didn't commit to those 4 lings, only 2. Only 2 are being sent out across the map. Meanwhile, MeomaikA does have eyes on this wall with his Overlord. There we go, the links show up. Gateway goes up as well, and with this, Ranger is perfectly fine. So yeah, solid opening here by Ranger. He wasn't caught off guard by MeomaikA shenanigans, quote unquote shenanigans really. Like, I just pull first. And we'll see what the plan is here for MeomaikA. Are we going to see another fast third? Are we going to see another late third and a fast lair? No, we are not, as the third is taken at a pretty standard time. Nicely done there by MeomaikA, getting his third up and running. And I can't imagine we're going to see that again 2 games in a row. We did already see MeomaikA commit to that Hydra Ling all-in, and that, it worked well. And there are probably some people that are like, you know what, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Keep doing that same strategy, at least until someone stops it. But at the same time, like, MeomaikA, he respects Ranger enough to know that Ranger is good enough to hold, like, to have a better defense here on 2000 atmospheres. that kind of pushes a little bit stronger on Jagannatha. We have the speed zones, the queens can waddle across the map faster as well. But we'll see, because once again, we do have that lair. Ooh, but this time, a Roach Warren is thrown down. Interesting. Very interesting. So we'll see what MeomaikA has in store for us here. It could be a queen push across the map with roaches. I wouldn't be opposed to that. The problem with that being is that MeomaikA doesn't really have queen production right now. He is not producing any more queens here. Only has 2 to work with at the moment. Probably going to get a 3rd just for his additional base. So yeah, I have to wonder what the lair is going to be used for. Meanwhile, the Oracle is coming across the map. There is a queen in position to help defend. 2 queens even. MeomaikA does push away the Oracle. Something important to note though is that there isn't just 1 Oracle. We have a 2nd. And we have a 3rd on the way. Oh my god. So even though Ranger did go for a Stargate opening, he has made 0 Void Rays for the time being. Oh, but he actually cancelled that Oracle. Interesting. Not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping to see a triple Oracle opening. That has become a little bit more common nowadays. A lot of players have gone into it, triple Oracle into, say, +1 Blink Stalkers. But this time Ranger only goes for 2. Thankfully for MeomaikA, this time he does have a Spore. Not in the best position though, and 4 drones still go down. Almost a 5th. Still even a 5th. As Ranger does work his way through that Spore. And roaches are already being sent across the map. I mean, we do have roach speed on the way. On top of this, we still have that Hydra Den, which was spotted because it was left a little bit exposed here at the 3rd base. Roaches do show up. We do have Stalkers to defend. We have a shield battery as well. The 3rd base is a little bit exposed, so maybe these roaches can find some damage here. Does force a cancel. On one of those shield batteries. Oh, can he get another pylon? Not quite. Not quite. But Glial is about to finish up in a couple of seconds, and yo, he wants a pylon. And he does force a cancel. Again, without losing a single roach. Like, nice moves so far by MeomaikA. You could also argue, mate, it was a pretty big investment to go into all these roaches, and you wouldn't be wrong. You wouldn't be wrong, but MeomaikA, he does have a bunch of Hydras on the way behind this to go for a bit of an old school Hydra roach push, something that we haven't really seen in pro play in a relatively long time. Oh my god, oh my god. These Oracles getting so much value. It does take a while, but they do pick off a couple of roaches here and there. Meanwhile, this is what I was talking about. MeomaikA, he doesn't spread creep with his queens, he spreads creep with his overlords. That's just how MeomaikA does things. Meanwhile, the Oracles do dive back in, get a couple of drone kills, but ooh, both Oracles do get picked off. Ay, ay, ay. Thankfully, we do have a hallucinated scout anyway, so Ranger does have eyes on what's coming his way. Again, just confirms the Hydra Den, confirms the gas count. There is no additional lurker den behind this or anything like that. It is still a commitment into Hydras and Roaches. And we'll see how this works here. Ranger is getting set up defensively at home. We have 2 shield batteries, we have some cannons that are being thrown down, additional gateways. Blink is done. I was talking about this earlier. Typically, it's triple Oracle into +1 Blink Stalkers. Ranger cutting some corners, only going for 2. Not really expecting too much to come out of that 3rd Oracle. Does get his Blink and +1 a little bit faster. And this is an army that does so well against roaches. Roaches specifically can struggle sometimes against more Ling heavy compositions or Ling Bane heavy compositions, with Hydras behind that or with Roach Ravager behind that. But yeah, I'm still wondering what MeomaikA's doing, because he's still making roaches and Hydras, and there's no lurker dead. It's just straight up Roach Hydra. What a madman. Okay, let's go. MeomaikA is up with plenty of supply. The army move out does get scouted. This 4th base is under threat and it looks like it should be cancelled, but Ranger is here, and what's important is that there are no Ravagers. Beautiful force fields does pick off a couple of roaches for free. And this is why typically we see Roach Ravager instead of Roach Hydra, right? Like, for that added value with those biles, so you can deal with force fields. MeomaikA has no answer to the force fields. He's stuck behind them perpetually. So this army is going to have such a hard time pushing through this choke point. He's going to try regardless, but there's still plenty of energy left. Okay, there we go. He realizes his weakness. He is dealing with the rocks. Now more force fields will be required to cut up the army, and MeomaikA pushes in. +1 is done for MeomaikA. He will force a cancel on this base. Immortal's move commands a little bit too much there with that Immortal. Just barely, it is saved, but in comes MeomaikA, stepping his way forward. Overcharge is used, but it's not really coming into play here as the Immortal does get focused down. And Ranger is warded away from his natural. And in comes MeomaikA. Mate, this madman has maxed out on Roach Ravager, and he's pulling it up. Disruptors are on the way, but they are not done yet. Oh my god, Ranger really struggling to defend with what he has with nothing but Blink Stalkers. Again, the transition into those disruptors took far too long. And maybe we're gonna have one disruptor come out in time, but regardless, every single worker here at the natural is going to go down. Here at the third, same can be said. GG, well played.